Top five. I like that. That'll be our thing for top five now.
Stop it. No.
There we go. That works. He's so innovative, so creative. Love having him on the show. Welcome back, y'all. We're here for another episode of Top 5. We know how much you missed it, and so, shame on me for not keeping this thing moving. I would take full responsibility. We've got we just had an episode recently. Hopefully you get a chance to watch that. Enjoy that. That was Top 5 Plot Twists. So if you have, questions about movies with plot twists, be sure to check that out. Today, we are bringing you Top 5 Rom Coms, romantic comedies.
Yay.
Just like, normally we try to indicate if there's any kind of special criteria for this. The only thing for this, it had to be romantic and it had to be a comedy, because it's kind of interesting, some movies that they list as being romantic comedies when you get to looking and it's like, that wasn't even funny. How was that a romantic comedy?
Yeah.
Most romantic movies are funny.
I mean, if
you say so.
If you have interesting feelings on romance, then or if you have a very specific taste in comedy. I know Senior Scratch and Sniff was asking about whether some movies were going to be acceptable, and we decided that those movies were not going to qualify. So, depending on your level of humor,
they fall under what you just said.
I agree. They have some humor. Sometimes they're not exactly funny. I don't know.
Depends on your definition of romance.
I was going to say, I don't know about that romance part.
Yeah,
we got a disclaimer, right? So
of course, this is an adult show, and we are having an adult beverage finally.
Not that kind of adult.
No, it ain't that adult.
What other kind of adult is it?
Look, we're going for rated R. We'll stop there. I don't even want an NC-17 on this.
We weren't gonna fucking perform the acts. What are you talking about?
You really pushing for that NC-17. Moving on to romantic comedies. So let's talk about our panelists today. Joining us here on my left, we have Brother Eloise. Again, he's back to give us his take on romantic comedies. Now, Jeff, you are actually a fan of romantic comedies, right?
Yes, I am.
I will probably be using your list as my definitive guide to watching romantic comedies.
Oh, no, don't do that, because I have...
don't put me on the spot.
My list, and that's only because with my list is more about just like my personal taste. Okay, I can give a list of like, if you want to be
recommended. No. Let me clarify. Yeah. So here's the beautiful thing about Top 5. I like the opinions of my peers, and I like what you all offer. And if you list movies that I haven't seen, they make a list, and I try to get those movies watched, because these are movies that you've enjoyed. And so it is important to note that our Top 5 lists are personal. They're movies that my Top 5 are movies that I liked. They may not be the best movies out there, because lovely Denisha here only picks the ones that have like 50 or below on Rotten Tomatoes. So
there is no lie being said.
But she always picks good movies. And it's like, I've gotten to the point where I was already kind of feeling that, like, bump what Rotten Tomatoes say, because if I like it, I like it.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
She comes up with some great picks, and I've got some movies from the last list that I got to go check out now. But joining us also, we have the lovely Denisha here. Denisha, say hello.
Hello.
And she was the motivation for me to get back on this Top 5. We were online, we were chit-chatting. I was like, you know what? Need you back on film. Need you back on camera. What I got to do? Let's do a Top 5.
We need more, our Hotep subscribers to
be
like
the count is down. I need it to come back up. Let's bring it up. Rounding out, we've got Senior Scratch and Sniff, Tony. I'm trying to give you that same intro Brett gives you on a GAG on these balls. Like that, I don't have to.
You got too much melanin. He got a whole nother level he go to.
I see it. It's just like, for me. So I tried it. It's pretty cool. But you all be sure to check that out. That's GAG on These Balls, part of the GAG Sport Network. Tony has a show there called GAG on These Balls, and it's a pretty damn good show. I've listened to many a show. And actually, you know what? Jeffrey's been on there a couple of times. I listened to your last show, so I think
only because nobody knows soccer but him.
But you know what?
Man.
Hey,
football, get it right.
You guys definitely make sports bearable for sure.
You got to find a niche and get in there.
And you know, it's like
So if you ever want to talk about boxing,
Manchester United, woo!
Okay. So we got boxing. We got Hey, we'll have to just make that a whole little show. I'm gonna let Brent know. Hey, Brent, you got to do a boxing show. And helping us out today to moderate Uncle Scrooge himself, we got Will. Will in the house. Say what's up, Will.
Look, I ain't feeling these rom-coms, but we'll figure this shit out. Come on.
Hey, man, I don't like.
I do want to
romance is dumb.
I was about to say I want to go on record that Denisha did not like rom-coms either.
I really thought Rom Com was a part of the computer somewhere.
I'm gonna say this though.
The CD-ROM, really?
Some of the movies
CD
on my
Rom Com
list and some of the stuff that I pick are rom-coms, but they're not like what you think about traditionally as rom-coms.
Okay.
So
won't change the fact that
So
nobody
it's
likes this category but you.
that's okay.
Now,
That's okay.
if you name an action movie and it's got like two people that fell in love in the midst of the movie, like do they qualify as romantic comedies at least?
They're gonna qualify today because the one or two that I like.
Why are you so damn aggressive?
He's
I don't even goddamn look.
He's a crayon.
Look, we about to get this shit started. So goddamn, we getting ready to go. And you can take your ass last. I don't give a shit. So anyway,
all right.
The rom-com episode is so aggressive.
Right.
There's no love here.
It's funny, but this ain't romantic at all. We supposed to have love for each other, brother.
I know, like low light, soft music, something.
Motherfucker.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Will, I'm handing it off to you. Go ahead, Uncle Scrooge.
All right, freaky. So romantic comedies. We're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off and get this started. So that we're gonna start this time with Denisha. I want to see
First. Jeff probably has this one on his list. I think you said something about this before on Facebook. But anyway, I got to get it out the way because as far as romantic comedies go, this movie is highly acceptable to me. It came out in 1992, a very disappointing 43% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are they racist?
This movie is magical, and it is Boomerang.
Yes. Number one on my list.
Absolutely. When you talk about a romantic comedy, and I guess because it got into that slot of being a Black movie, it's not appreciated the way that it should be, but the plot, the actors, and it's one of those movies too, when you go back, you see so many people that are famous now that were in that movie. Ed Murphy definitely at his best. Robin Givens, before we all hated her.
Halle Berry.
I hated her then too.
Oh, well, you know.
David Allen
Berry, like trying to not be Halle Berry.
Martin Lawrence.
Chris
John
Rock.
Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon.
You got the coordinate. Look at the belt.
Yeah.
For Rashad, the belt matches his jacket, and look at that.
David Allen Greer,
love that movie.
It's just a great movie. So many quotable moments. Black,
they've been in there for an hour.
being professional, having money, looking good. Great movie.
Yeah,
Fluffy.
I just want to piggyback on that. Also, the movie that's responsible for us having the show Martin, because Eddie Murphy noticed the chemistry that he had with Martin Lawrence and the chemistry he had with Tisha Campbell, and was like, y'all should do something together. And eventually they ended up getting cast, opposite each other in the show Martin. But yeah, I think it's definitely a case of like America wasn't ready to see Black excellence, Black opulence in that way, to not be really in the movie at all, because the only white people I really like the only white people I remember is when like Grace Jones is in restaurants. It's like, you're not gay, he's gay, and it's like pans to some random white man in the restaurant. And unfortunately, it was I think it was just like a casualty of that, people feeling like Eddie Murphy had gone too far. It wasn't 48 hours. It wasn't, what they wanted from him. Yeah. So yeah, but I think even the story behind it, even though like my wife hates the fact that Halle Berry takes him back in the end, and I know a lot of like women who watch it kind of hate that too. It's an interesting story, and I don't think it's any crazier or far-fetched than like Sleepless in Seattle or some of the other movies we're going to name. And just the fact that like people haven't watched it honestly can just be boiled down to the fact that they think it's a black movie and not a rom-com. So yeah.
And we had such a great spectrum of black people, like, you know, from Eddie Murphy being at the top and making the kind of money that he made. And, you know, it just, the soundtrack to that movie.
And it's not even, it's not chuckle funny.
Yeah.
Like some other rom-coms.
It's
like,
genuine humor.
That's cute. It's hilarious. Like you are laughing hard at some of the parts in the movie. And then there's like actual romance stuff. And I think it just encapsulates so much of what a good rom-com should have, and finding that balance between the humor and the romance. That, like, I know I'm talking like this was my pick, but
it was. Look, it
kind of was.
You mentioned it. It was.
It kind of was. I know we've had this conversation.
I'm gonna replace it, but yeah.
All right, freaking so Boomerang got it down on this first.
You should let Jeffrey go last, so we'll take all his picks.
That's fine.
Sam, I don't know if I want to talk to Tommy yet.
So,
yeah, make Tony go.
There was like a little period where these movies kept getting made back to back to back, and they was kind of stacking them on top of one another. So it was kind of hard to figure out which one I wanted to use to represent all of them. I narrowed it down to two, which one is a movie involving sports and one is a movie involving music. And trying to figure out which of those two was going to be the representation. Right. Like it's basically the same movie, but just different settings. Even casting was very similar. So
the same. It's like you got these 10 black people you could put in a movie.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like for a short while there, it was like they just kept kind of coming out with the same thing. But ultimately, I decided that for an overall story, I think The Best Man is one of the ones that I want to add to my list for romantic comedy. There are genuinely funny, hilarious moments. It's got an ensemble cast. It's got everything I'm looking for really in a movie. And it's got a really sweet story in it as well. And, Hail Perrineau and Regina, like I was very happy the way that movie turned out. I was very happy the way that movie turned out. You know,
you love me, yes, Candy loves you, baby. Yeah.
You know, and then like, but even more importantly, the end of that movie, like when he just like, would you like to go? There's so much great in that movie, and it's another one of those movies where it's like it's a positive movie to see people in a positive light see these actors, and I think everybody looked good on screen. The chemistry was there, and there was a lot of romance, and it was some, you take your pick. Is it gonna be Nia Long, or how's it gonna go? So
it's like you got Sanaa Lathan, Taye Diggs, Morris Chestnut, Nia Long. Like
I wanted to read the damn book.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, man, this book done flipped the whole wedding weekend inside out. Man, almost got thrown off a building for the book. And you realize what he was writing about, and it's like,
and it taught us all the importance
up in that church crying.
It taught us all the importance of a forehead kiss. So that The Best Man is going to be my in no particular order, but that's my first pick.
All right, Best Man, got it. All right, Tony, what you got?
Oh shit! All right, so let me go ahead and tell you, I'm reaching for every single one of these because I have no clue about romantic comedy shits. So I'm just gonna throw this one out here because this movie I enjoyed. It had romance in it, and I found it funny as hell. Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah,
loved
it.
It's
a romantic comedy.
Then good. All right, I'm on the right track. Like I said, I'm throwing darts like the Falcons do draft picks. I'm just throwing it at the wall, hoping something sticks. So I liked it. I mean, the opening scene got me. That's some G life I want to live, where I walk in, get disrespected, and make a call, and I buy the hotel. That's what I want. That's the life I want to lead. But then you have all the different storylines going on. The main one was you had a wedding going on. Son had a girlfriend. Of course, son's mom didn't like her. She was beneath them. And the entire movie was, you saw all the other storylines going on, but that was the main one. And I liked it. It was funny to me. That's all I got. Keep it short.
Mother-in-law versus daughter is a common romantic comedy trope.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it did a good job putting a spin on it, and you get to see it through the eyes of. I like the fact that now we're getting like romantic comedies from other cultures, because I do feel like for so long it got branded as like a white genre, and that's because every movie was like Tom Hanks with Meg Ryan, Billy Crystal with Meg Ryan.
So
Billy
if I have
Crystal,
that
it's
on my
like,
list, if I have one of their movies on my list, is that a problem?
no, I don't think it's. I don't think it's a
Complete-
problem.
It goes
because
along with it.
Okay.
Those are solid movies on their own. It's just about the variety and like
Just
can we
know
get
he's
Or
some-
the
gonna
lack of
critique-
variety, really.
yeah.
he's gonna
Can we
critique
get some
you.
pepper with the salt?
We got a whole cabinet of seasons up there. Let's use something
Mm-mm.
else.
Yeah.
Well, I got the soy sauce right now, so we good.
Crazy that.
Hey, stop it.
The MSG.
What happened?
Moving on.
What just
Moving
happened?
on. Nothing happened.
So freaking
Nothing's
brother
just
Eloise,
turned.
come on, what you got?
My first one, Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that that's one.
Is that
Yeah,
a
people-
romantic comedy?
Yes.
It is a romantic
Yes, the fuck it is.
because it is.
Don't
it is-
wait.
And for me, I like I said before, for me, the balance between the romance and the comedy is very important. I think because it has action and fighting in it. Like Tony, you're gonna see it as like a fighting movie, or
No,
like
I've
a video
seen it.
game movie.
But I didn't think it was a rom com.
No.
I thought it was
I
action.
know, and that's what I'm saying. You're gonna think it's an action movie because you're looking onto the action. But the reason he was fighting all those people was for the romance. It was like the one, like
In order
his
to
interest
date Ramona,
in
he
Ramona
had to beat
was
the evil exes.
yeah, and
I
it
just
was a
thought he was doing it
comedic
for the
movie, and
coins.
the fights were comedic. There was nothing like so serious where like people were getting like their heads chopped off and all that kind of stuff. So
When my man dove out the window,
Oh, he just left. Yo, Wallace made that fucking movie for me, yo.
the
Okay.
younger Culkin, he did a fantastic job.
I got the hang of this now. All right.
that worries me that you think that.
All right. He should be rolling back
Oh,
around.
wait a minute. You just gonna take away my confidence like that? I tell you, we are
No.
our own worst enemies.
You have all the confidence. I have faith in you. I have faith in your ability to watch movies, and I know you've watched a lot of movies, so I know you would get this category knocked out. Who'd you say it was, Denisha?
Denisha.
Okay.
It's on me. So my next movie came out in 2000. 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's an ensemble movie, which is probably why I can stomach it, because there was a lot of different things going on, but the whole premise of it was love. And the movie's name is Love Actually. It's a great movie. It's a cute movie. There's a lot of little things going on.
It actually is a cute movie.
That one, well,
I don't know.
I'm gonna make a
There's
note on
stuff
that
in that
because
there's stuff in that movie that I feel like is the problem with a lot of romantic relationships.
It's
Like
and
there,
like
was
some
some,
shady
there was
stuff.
some real thing, like there were real, everybody didn't end up with the perfect scenario.
Yeah,
So
but it's also like
the
you're not
girl
about
with
to-
her brother, the woman being cheated on, like
yeah,
there was.
but you're not about to come
No.
outside my house with cue cards from my
Oh yeah,
wife.
that was disrespectful.
Nah.
hell.
And my
Wait a
wife
minute.
stand there and read all of them.
What
No.
happened?
No.
watch the movie, you'll find out.
Just
Moving on.
watch.
Just Google
Sam.
was Rick from Walking Dead in Love Actually, and
Yeah,
just sit back then. Shit. Okay. See, this is what
there's
happens
a
when I don't
lot,
host.
you
Right,
have a
this is what
lot of
happened when-
stories going
You're
on.
gonna have to watch the movie.
This is what happened when you tell. This is what happened when you tell Sam to be quiet. This is the problem.
Exactly. I get to be loud. Sam, your turn.
Okay. So moving on. You see, I'm just sitting over here quiet in my little seat. Well, since we talking about the standard for the genre, mine's real simple. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. You've got mail. You know what? They've had a couple of movies together, and I think Jeff, you and I were having a conversation about this one specifically. I like You've Got Mail. Some of the other ones they have, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know what it is, but You've Got Mail, the story, the big bookstore, the little bookstore. It's for some reason this one kind of resonates, and I think it's got like that sweet little gooey love story, but it's also got like some real world situations taking place. Like at the end of the day, business is business, and you can be all in love, but money's like, so you start to look at where people's priorities are, and if you've ever had somebody tell you some foolishness like oh, I don't care about money as long as we're together. Go watch a movie like this, and you know what I'm saying, like get some perspective. And I don't know, I really like You've Got Mail. So
it's cute. I like because it shows why it's so important to get to know somebody. And because they were chatting online, all those barriers that they had about the other person wasn't really there. And so they were able to really get to know each other at the heart of it. So, yeah.
But see, the aspect of the dual personality, she's like today, it's in a more modern time, it'd be a little interesting because, online dating is not a taboo-ish kind of thing. But when this movie came out, it was the internet was still new.
You're gonna find somebody to date on the computer?
Yeah.
Right. Like the fact that it's called You've Got Mail, which was the whole AOL thing. That's how old this movie is. But
AOL movie.
The idea that her meeting him in real life and making that connection, but then the person she's chatting with online, she doesn't know it's the same person. And her response to that individual, even though it's the same person, her response to him is different. So it's a very eye-opening experience to show people, like, how important it is to really get to know an individual. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying. And
they were given that opportunity only because he found out it was her. Because otherwise it wouldn't have went that way.
So that's another one if you had to check out. You've Got Mail. So that the only time you ever hear them things, you're just gonna put in that damn startup list. So,
right.
Tony, what you got?
All right, so let's see if I can get this one. I like this movie because the guy in it is actually one of my favorite comedic actors.
Baby, did you put that pizza in the oven?
96% on Rotten Tomatoes, 88% audience score. It's about a weatherman getting stuck in a time loop. Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day is a fantastic movie.
But like I said, I never thought of it as a romantic comedy just because I like Bill Murray. I like all of his movies. He's just funny to me. So when I saw him when he was in, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this.
I mean, a lot of romantic comedies are really just comedies where they try to sneak a love story in.
And I see that. So I'm like, okay. And for him to be stuck in the time warp or time loop, or however you want to call it, I think he showed what most of us would do in that situation.
I take advantage of it.
Take advantage of it. Shit, he learned to play. I would learn to play the piano. I learned to play all kind of instruments. I'd be Prince coming out that motherfucker. I'm telling you. I'd be ridiculous. Pants, assless chaps and all. I'm doing it. I would.
Hence the name Scratch and Sniff.
That's right. Scratch is clean though, so don't worry about it.
I think that's a really, really good one because the concept of being trapped in the time loop is something that has been taken and like grafted onto other things. There's actually a really funny episode of the Christmas episode of the Jamie Foxx show where he's like stuck in a time loop.
Live, Die, Repeat. What was that movie with Tom Cruise?
Oh yeah, Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yes, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, so the whole concept of like you're stuck in this time loop until you like learn the lesson you need to learn. I think like putting the romantic comedy spin on it was really smart. I'm personally just not that big of a Bill Murray fan.
Get out.
I know.
Can we mute him?
I really have tried to get it, but he just makes me want to smack him. So,
but that is actually part of the appeal.
Yeah,
and
that's why
the idea of Bill Murray for a lot of people is Bill Murray is
he says everything that they want to say.
He's the asshole friend.
Yeah,
that is your friend because he's an asshole.
Yeah,
that's me. That's the only reason I'm around.
That's why me and Tony don't get along.
And I absolutely care no fucks.
All right, freaking Jeff, we on to you.
Jeff is next.
My next one is a more recent one, Hitch, Will Smith, Kevin James. I like it, and I'm gonna say something controversial. I personally think that is Will Smith's best role in a movie, and he should be doing more rom-coms and less like
wannabe action movies.
Not even that
don't mention that movie.
Less like Oscar bait stuff, because his whole appeal is his charm and his charisma as an actor, and him just being Will Smith. Like Bill Murray is that asshole friend who's your friend because he's an asshole, but he's your asshole.
Right.
Will Smith is the friend that everybody wants to be friends with. I think the role of Hitch kind of definitely helps him. He's your friend who's like, nah, man, go talk to her. Like, it's all good. He's your friend that's like, nah, man, go ahead, get that shirt. It looks good on you. You're going to be popping when you go out and blah, blah, blah. He's a friend that you go to for the encouragement. And it's got a little bit of Cyrano de Bergerac in it with, him kind of like coaching him as the date doctor. But then on top of it, you have the bromance with Will Smith and Kevin James,
which works really well, surprisingly.
Yeah. And then you have Kevin James's romantic arc as he's trying to learn, but also Will Hitch's arc. He's also like, I can't just be like coaching everybody else to find love. I got to like find it for myself too. So I just thought it was like a lot of, it's a movie with actually a lot of moving parts and subplots that doesn't feel like it has a lot of moving parts and subplots in it. And I think it comes off really, really well. But it's like weird because the way it's marketed, even the way it's named, it's just like Hitch. And it's just like him on the cover. So you don't think rom-com, you just think Will Smith movie. But then when you go and sit down and watch it, it's a rom-com.
I mean, again, another one of those movies where it's fully marketed as a comedy and they sneak a love story in there.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because I think if people had known that was the movie they were going to see,
most people wouldn't have gone to see it.
It wouldn't have had the appeal. You thought you were going to see a Will Smith comedy. You're going to see 2 hours of The Fresh Prince, basically.
Yeah.
And it also has like kind of a how to be a player element to it because he is a player. And so that's how you get like the guys to go because like, oh yeah, Will Smith, he gonna be bagging them and blah 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 whoop de whoop, and then he falls in love in the movie too. I mean, he does.
You got
because the biggest advertisement behind that movie was the scene where his face and stuff swelled up, and you.
Oh yeah,
that's what you remember. You don't think about the romance part of it. So.
No, I think the dad scene where he was like, "No, none of this." Yeah. Right here. You stay right here. You stay right here.
I got food already.
Yeah. That was because that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of that movie.
I
do like that movie.
All right,
Denisha, one of you.
Okay, my next movie came out in 2009. Only 44%. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it, so of course it's funny.
That doesn't mean it.
And Sandra Bullock, and she's not somebody that I typically find funny, but I really did in this movie, and it's The Proposal. How great!
From the window,
and Betty White.
Yeah. Wait, from Betty the windows to the wall.
That whole. I mean, I was crying, laughing in the scene, like so. Because I mean, Sandra Bullock's had her moments where she's kind of funny, but it's usually like very unintentional. But she was really funny in that movie. It was a good movie.
Okay.
I like that one.
I like that movie.
Basically, just a quick synopsis of the movie. Sandra Bullock is like a executive. Ryan Reynolds is like her assistant or whatever. And she's from Canada and she's about to get deported. So she's basically like, Ryan Reynolds, if you marry me so I can keep my citizenship, I'll give you a promotion. And then she goes with him on like some weekend to his family, like in Alaska and all this other stuff like that. But that's a good plane movie. Like if you scrolling by and you've seen all the action and new stuff and you just want to watch something light and get a couple chuckles, that's a good airplane movie.
I think the first time I saw that movie, it was literally like flipping channels. It was on in the background and I was like, oh, Ryan Reynolds. Okay, we'll leave it there. And honestly, it wasn't even that long ago. That's the funny part. But that is a hilarious movie. And to this day, that being out in the campsite around the fire. Like, if I hear that song,
to the sweat.
Like, I used to think of Chris Rock with that. Now I think of Sandra Bullock and Betty White. That shit was fun. That was a good movie. I have to say, that was actually a good movie.
It's on you, Sam.
All right. So I watched the show How I Met Your Mother and was very curious to know about like some of the other stuff that these people did, and I came across this movie called Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
There it is.
Penis. There's like
Oh my god.
Penis.
Oh
Like,
my god.
So this was
how brave was he?
This is another one of those movies where they definitely tried to slip in a love story around a comedy. But this movie is funny as hell. But at the heart of it, there actually is a really good love story if you stick around for it. And, you know, it's kind of like you try so hard to be in this perfect relationship, and maybe that's not the relationship you're supposed to be in. You know, like, follow your heart, be with who makes you happy. And Forgetting Sarah Marshall, it was, that movie is so damn funny. I could literally, like, it would almost fall more under a comedy than a romantic comedy, but there is a love story.
No, it's a love story.
Yeah.
It
That's a
made
love
Russell
story.
Brand tolerable, which is very hard to do.
Yeah.
But it just basically cast Russell Brand as Russell Brand.
Isn't that how he's majority cast?
But
Yes.
I mean, Kristen Bell, Jason Segel, like, seeing their relationship was a very interesting one. But then it's got like a lot of names in the movie on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Mila Kunis was in it, so of course that was initially why I watched it. Russell Brand is in it. Kristen Bell is in it. And Kristen Bell, I don't know how I feel about her. I like her half the time and hate her the other times. It's so weird, but
yeah, I think it's because like sometimes sometimes the range of the different characters that she tries to play are so wide, and it's like, no, I like you like in here. So I feel you. Because like her being like mean and like rude and nasty, I'm kind of just like, but like her in like Bad Moms or in, you know, The Good Place or whatever, where she's like kind of endearing but like has a little bit of an edge to her, I feel like that's kind of her sweet spot.
Yeah, I love her in The Good Place.
But see, if you see her in House of Lies,
that's wow.
Right, like it's a complete 180 from her normal.
Yeah.
But that works so well. You know, and it's like, I believe that. That's who I think she really is. Just like I believe that's how Don Cheadle really is.
Yeah, Don Cheadle and her and that, Let's not go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So, but this one, yes, for this movie, it's got a little bit of an ensemble cast because it's got plenty of people in there that will give you some laughs, give you some chuckles. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, that is my pick.
All right, Tony, on to you. You're 2 for 2. What you got?
All right, let's see what happens here. So this next movie is one of my unicorns because one, I don't like musicals, but I like this one.
Ooh, a musical.
It's a musical. It's one of the most successful movie musicals of all time. You got Sandy and Danny, poodle skirts and leather jackets.
Yes.
Grease.
This is my favorite movie of all time.
And I still saying Sandy died and that was a dream. I'm still saying it.
You go with that
I'm going. She died.
Conspiracy theory.
Died and Danny tried to save her, and that entire movie was her dream because she flew off to heaven in the car. That was it. That's my thing.
Always be together.
Yeah, but I hate musicals with a passion. I hate all Disney musicals, but mainly.
I
but
love
this
musicals.
one, I just
hate
can't.
musicals.
But this movie, it was just like, okay, I can sit back with this one because it was
Top
funny.
5 musicals will just be me.
You know what? Surprisingly enough, my wife loves musicals, so I've seen a lot, and I'm shocked whenever I see one that I like. So
Right. And you
maybe
better stop
maybe we'll do a
naming my
special
movies
episode.
before I say the name of it, Jeffrey.
That's my bad. I was too excited.
That was it. That's his one. He just
I
said.
purposely left musicals off because I felt like the music gives it an unfair advantage, at least for me, because I actually like musicals. But yeah, Grease, I definitely would put that up. I mean, it's my favorite movie, period.
So 3 for
My
3.
wife found that out the hard way.
I'll take that. So you know all the songs,
when the movie
right?
was playing, it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
on repeat.
Oh yeah, if that movie is on TV and it's before the school dance scene, I gotta watch it up at least to the school dance scene because it's like the
We come
crunkest white
together.
movie scene of all time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my movie that I
Now
hate
remind
that I
me
like
later
it, but
because I
like
want to ask you about that opening song, and we won't have that conversation here. But
All right, that's it for me. I'm done.
All right, so nobody else has musicals on their list.
I don't.
No.
Oh shit! No, you don't.
No.
Don't-
No,
thank you.
I don't.
I win.
Okay.
We can stop right now.
musicals, you know, I look, Greatest Showman in Chicago, I thought were great.
I haven't seen none of them.
So I mean, honestly, I've seen Greatest. You know what? We will do. Jeff, you requested it. I'm with it. We will do a show on musicals.
I'll moderate that one because I can't. I'll be totally useless.
It'll be
Might
a
have
short.
3.
It'll be a
Will-
short show. We'll collectively
you can
come
do
up
it.
with
You
like
can
a
be in
top
it.
10 list.
All right,
Mhm.
on that.
We'll be in it. I'll moderate because I'm totally useless. On that.
All right, so Jeff, on you since you're the man of the hour.
All right. So my next one is a movie that everybody here has definitely seen, but people probably don't think about it as a romantic comedy. Again, for the same reason as Boomerang. Speaking of, starring the same actor, Eddie Murphy, Coming to America.
There it is.
It is a romantic comedy because the
Mhm.
whole catalyst of the film is him coming to America to find
hate you.
a wife.
I
And
hate
he
you.
meets the lovely Sherry Headley, who works at McDowell's. And I think it's just got, to me, it's got everything. It's got great actors, great directing, great story. Eddie Murphy playing 1,000 different characters and people. Personally, I think like he does not get enough credit for how he disappears into some of these other roles. And there's like a scene where he's literally like having a full-blown conversation with himself as 3 different like he's 6 people in the barbershop and he's 3 of those people.
Mhm.
So the editing and the acting on top of that has to be touched to just make that believable. Because I'm sure when that movie came out, people had to be like, that's why at the end of the movie, it's like Eddie Murphy and then Eddie Murphy and then Eddie Murphy. And it's showing you all the people that he played, just so you know. But I think the love story behind it too, going beyond just I like you, you like me, whatever. But him just kind of saying like, I don't want to just get married because you're telling me to marry this person. I want to find love. I want to experience this in this way. And even the classic line from the Queen just being like, I thought you were the king. And then you have the magical moment at the end. I think just really, I mean, even the art fight that they have on the subway is just like, man, like this is some good acting. And people are just like, oh yeah, that's a black movie. So that's on my list. Coming to America.
I renounced my throne. I am no longer
Okay.
Coming to America down. All right, Indonesia.
Man, we could do a whole show on the first Coming to America.
Lord. Okay,
Take
so
one.
my next movie came out in 2001, 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, that's not mine.
I love this movie
So she
because
doing good.
it's close to reality for me, and that's the problem that I have with romantic movies like The Notebook. They're not based in reality. So that's one of the reasons I mean, this, of course, it's still one of those movies, like it's a stretch, but Bridget Jones' Diary, it's hilarious. I love that she gained weight. She's trying to lose weight. She's trying to stop smoking. Like, her life is a mess. She's bad at her job. Like, there's just real life things happening. And then she just so happens to fall in love. She's in a bad relationship with a bad guy. Like, all of that stuff makes sense to most women. So it's a pretty good movie.
The
Okay.
Bridget Jones series is one of the most ghetto movie series. Like literally the third movie is like, I don't know who my baby daddy is.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I watched Bridget. I think I watched the first Bridget Jones at the wrong time in life. I watched it with some white kids on my freshman floor in college my freshman year, and I was just like not feeling this at all. I think if I rewatched it now, I probably would give it more of a shot though. Also, like Renee Zellweger always looks like she smelled like some old milk.
She definitely looks like that in this movie.
So I'm not trying to like beat up on her, but it's kind of like it's hard for me to like get into the movie of like why everybody's like chasing her, and she's just always like.
But it's
more about her character. I get what you're saying. It is the character of Bridget Jones just being, I guess, like for lack of a better phrase,
miserable.
Like the fact that she's a mess.
Well, let her be a mess. Freaking, she gonna have.
It's like she has that quirky.
They're trying to give her that Cinderella.
We're not worried about none of it.
They're trying to give her that Cinderella appeal.
No, we're not going to explain the whole movie.
No, move on.
Okay, I don't know. Will was Bridget Jones.
Look, move on. Look, I'm Uncle Scrooge for a reason. Today. Fuck that shit. Sam, what's your fourth?
Okay, this movie, 2001. I don't know if this movie. You know what? This movie has not aged well. In 2001, this movie was funny as hell. I don't know that you could play this movie today and it even be received, but I feel like it has a really good story at the basis of it. Jack Black, Gwyneth Paltrow, Shallow Hal.
No comment.
Look.
Next.
No comment. No.
We're not explaining.
Nope. Okay. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet.
I think that was a swing and a miss there. Freaking.
We breeze right on by that.
Right, breeze right on past Shallow Hal. This is, I don't care what anybody says, it's my favorite movie of all time. I'm gonna say it's a romantic comedy because going by what Jeff said, it falls into that category. The Last Dragon. I don't care. Why is he fighting? He's saving vanity.
He's trying to get the glow.
And what happened? She's trying to get him. And at the end, will you show me some moves? Come on, player. Rom Com. Rom Com, the whole movie. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Last Dragon. Write it down.
All right.
Last Dragon with an
I'll
asterisk.
just say it's unintentionally funny.
That's
times.
fine. That's fine. That it doesn't matter if it's unintentional or not. It's better than Shallow Hal.
Don't deflect because your movie was crap.
Jeff,
your turn. My shit was at least funny.
I'm glad I followed you.
Jeff, please.
My next one is what many would consider to be the quintessential romantic comedy, especially of the modern era, When Harry Met Sally, starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. I mean, so many iconic scenes, so much so many like famous people in it. Carrie Fisher, rest in peace, amongst other people. But I think the thing about it was like it was really one of the first movies to explore the idea of not just romance between men and women, but also friendship between men and women. And can romance be built on friendship? Can you have no romance and just friendship and all that kind of stuff like that? So I just thought that, you know, when you watch it, even the way that it's set up, it has that almost like mockumentary style where they're interviewing like the different couples and they're giving their life story. And, you know, you meet them and you're like, there's no way in hell these people are going to get together at the end. And then at the end of the movie, Billy Crystal's like running through the streets on New Year's Eve. And it's like, you don't think of Billy Crystal as romantic, but like that scene, you know, the urgency of it, and really just even reframing like what a leading man in a romantic movie could look like are all reasons why I really like think that the movie's good, or really, really it's good and it's important.
Okay.
When Harry Met Sally, Denisha.
All right, my last one, 2005, 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's hard for me to like both of these actors because they're the same in every movie, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this movie was funny as hell. Wedding Crashers. Hilarious. Huh.
Okay.
Ha ha.
You better
All
not
right,
be,
hilarious.
because I'm gonna find you.
And then like Will Ferrell being this like gigolo, picking up people at funerals, like
The brother who's like a weird artist.
yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
It's like, damn, this whole family trying to sleep with Vince Vaughn.
yeah. And it's just like Vince Vaughn.
Call
He's
me kitty cat.
same.
They're literally rinse and repeat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. All right, freaking Sam.
All right, so let me try to redeem myself a little bit here.
We passed that. I'm just going for it on my next one. I'm just going for it.
This one is a much newer movie, and I wanted to see it just because it felt like the kind of movie I was supposed to see. The wife and I sat down to watch it, and I'd be damned if this movie wasn't hilarious. Issa Rae, Kumail Nanjiani, Lovebirds.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was extremely funny, and there was a nice underlying love story in there as well, and it hit the mark in my opinion for that. But that movie is so funny. Like
It's
was
cute. I like that. It literally starts with them breaking up.
right, and so
and then all this stuff happens. And
I mean and when I say it's a new movie, like it came out last year, 2020. Like you know what? This was actually a pandemic watch. We watched this movie because it was one of the first movies to be available on streaming services when theaters shut down. So the wife and I decided, you know what, we'll check it out. We were gonna, our date night will be at home, and boom, we'll watch that. And that's a damn good movie. Like,
Lovebirds, Pandemic Sleeper.
All right.
All right, Tony.
So it's my last one.
Yeah, see if you can help yourself out from that last.
Nah, player, you know how it goes. Once
on,
I take
man.
that dive, I'm flying over the edge with this next one. I don't like the actor, but this movie, for some reason, 5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think that might be the lowest one we have on the show.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Look, you shocked Denisha with that.
Let me tell you something. The only reason that I will keep watching this movie is for one scene, and it says, "I will fuck you till you die." Oh my God. I will watch Good Luck Chuck from beginning to end for no damn reason. I will. I don't even care. I don't care if y'all like it.
And show we know that you don't care.
I hate
Good luck,
Dan
damn
Cook,
Chuck.
but that right
Next.
there, for him to sleep with somebody and then they find their true love after him, yeah, that was a fucked up situation. But for him to sleep with Shamu, oh my God. And she eating fucking lobsters by the claws and screaming that out in a restaurant. Yeah, I fall out laughing every single time I see that. I just can't help it. I start crying. It's hilarious. I don't care. I told him just right off the end.
It fits though. Like your last one was off the edge. This one actually fits. So,
hey, I'm 3 out of 5. I don't care. I did better than I thought it would.
Well, no, you're 4 out of 5.
It fits.
You're 4 out of 5.
Terrible movie though.
It is a terrible movie.
But
the
it
scene
fits.
where he jumps out of the thing in the penguin costume.
Come on,
singing
dude.
Crazy
Come
in
on.
Love. It's actually really, really funny. But yeah, it's a
got
terrible
moments.
It's a
got
great
moments.
premise though. It's a great premise, but it's a terrible
hilarious.
movie.
It's hilarious. I'm gonna fuck you till you die.
Mm. All right,
Jeff.
All right, so my last one, because Boomerang was already thrown out there, that was my number one. I'm going to go to another black rom-com that's underrated. I went to see the Rotten Tomato scores because I know people was gonna hate on it. 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, 57% audience score, but I don't care. Breaking All the Rules, 2004, Jamie Foxx, Morris Chestnut, Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
I still reference that to this day.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, again, fell into the cracks of like black movie, but like the concept isn't, classic mistaken identity concept, classic like, oh, I fell in love with the wrong guy, some shades of Cyrano de Bergerac, But I really think that the chemistry that Jamie Foxx and Gabrielle Union have in the film is really, really good. I think, I don't know. Jamie Foxx is also my favorite actor, so I know I'm a little bit biased and with some of the stuff where
No, that one,
I see him in it.
That
But
was a good movie.
That
was a good
really
movie.
Solid
stand
movie.
out as. Again, it falls into the same category, much like you're saying. It falls into the same category that Boomerang fell into. People saw the cast and assumed that it was just a black movie, when in fact it is more of just a comedy
Rom-com
based around romance. And if more people had given it a chance, it would be right up there with a lot of the other rom-coms.
like, how is this? It's not any crazier than like Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks falling in love over sending each other song requests.
No.
Radio.
Just Friends. If Just Friends
Yeah.
is considered a rom-com, how the hell is this not? Like,
Right.
And it's better than Just Friends. Like, no question on that. But yeah, I'm with you on that.
All
All right, Will, you got picks?
that list of that. I mean, a couple that freaking come to mind off rips like that, just random movies. Like this movie I watch all the time, randomly, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and stuff like that. Freaking because they're really trying to figure each other out. So
Action,
Brad Pitt
action,
and Jolie.
romantic com. Like,
That's a
It
rom
was
com.
funny though. There was
Yes.
some funny
because
moments.
they don't really know each other, and they really have to figure out who each other are. And they
But
fall
that's
back.
that
Wait,
could be
wait, wait.
considered a rom
Wait,
com
wait.
for real.
ask the question again.
And that
On the way here. Like,
Brad Pitt
yes.
got mad because he actually invited his real parents to the wedding, and he found out she hired me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
that's,
he's
I like,
like,
you know what? I like that pick. I like
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
That's
again,
a
I
good
said
pick.
mine's Scott Pilgrim was up there with it, so like that.
Yeah.
My wife will kill me if I don't mention this one. 51st Dates.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
That was
She
great.
loves
Yeah.
51st Dates.
That was actually one of my honorables.
Wait, is
Yeah.
that Drew Barrymore?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
Adam
I've seen
Sandler.
that one.
I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
I've gone on record as saying one of the few Adam Sandler movies I do like.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
good.
One of my favorites and stuff like that. Freaking 13 going on 30. Like that. I actually like
That's
13 going on
dramatic.
30.
I
That's
mean,
the
the thriller
thriller.
scene
Yeah,
alone.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Jennifer
So,
Gardner.
Jennifer
Body
Gardner.
Switch.
Ruffalo.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's
like
like-
a Freaky Friday type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I would watch
Elektra, the Hulk, Captain Marvel, freaking yeah.
Electra, no.
So yeah,
13 going on
Actually,
30 is
yeah, now that
MCU
you say
canon.
that.
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, it's like Scott Pilgrim. Come on, think about it. It's got Superman, Captain America, freaking Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
freaking all in there. So it's good. But yeah, freaking and one of the ones that a lot of people don't know, I had to watch this for class with that. But Amelie, that French, it's a French movie. Stuff like that. Amelie. Yeah, I can't ever say it, but really, really good movie and stuff like that. And I was just surprised with how it was shot.
I was working at Blockbuster. Yes, that is actually a damn good movie.
Yeah. So that,
Okay.
and then one that I've heard back and forth has been controversial and stuff like that. A lot of people aren't sure and stuff like that, whether it falls in that category or not and stuff like that. I've always had mixed feelings with that. I think it's more along that lines and stuff than not, but The Princess Bride. So at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a romance.
Definitely
That's a
romantic.
So
romance.
definitely wrong. So
Yeah.
again, freaking for me, so I enjoyed it.
Inconceivable.
But I've talked to some people who had issues with it. I was like, nah, it definitely falls in that category for me. So at
Mhm.
that, so fuck everybody else. But yeah, those are my picks. Those are a
Dear
couple
we
movies that I like.
beloved.
So-
Can I give a
Knowledge.
couple other suggestions? Just
Yeah,
come
I
on.
mean, we have our
we're
honorable
gonna-
mentions.
so we're gonna round robin for this. So
Okay.
Jeff, go ahead and hit it.
Yeah, so honorable mentions: Forget Paris, Billy Crystal. That was like his other big rom-com. That he's the basketball referee. So you ever seen the clip of him like arguing with the NBA players? That's what. That's
Oh
from.
no, his was his father-in-law where he
Oh
was
yeah.
naming
Buy
them.
Toyota. Oh, you want it? We got it.
Oh my
Toyota.
Oh,
All right, what's
Deliver
next?
us,
Yes.
deliver us from Eva.
yes.
Oh,
A modern retelling of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, starring LL Cool J, Gabrielle Union. And then my third one, which technically kind of is a rom-com, but it's like on the fence because it's more of a buddy movie, House Party.
okay.
See, that
I
opens
see
up.
it.
I have questions about that now.
Yeah, I could see. No, I could see that.
That's
as
part of the
well.
reason I didn't put it on my list, because I feel like it's more of a buddy movie, coming of age movie than a rom-com. But
Yeah,
coming of age movies always have some sort of like
romantic aspect,
element to it, because like part of coming of age is like learning how to talk to the people who got the stuff you like. So
Hey, I like that. I like the way you phrase that.
Okay, who's next?
All right, Sam.
Very clear.
We ran out of time.
Okay, so for me, mine are very simple. I mentioned Best Man, but also Love and Basketball, The Wood, and Brown Sugar all kind of fall in the same group of movies.
what are we celebrating? My divorce.
And I have, damn it, my list got me. Oh, Date Night.
Date Night was the other one. Was Date
That was
Night.
hilarious.
Yeah, Steve Carell. That one, and those honestly, because I said Best Man, so The Wood and Love and Basketball and Brown Sugar were all right there together. Mm-hmm. Date Night was the only other one that would be an honorable mention for me.
All right, freaking Denisha, what you got?
Something's Gotta Give, 16 Candles, Crazy Stupid Love, and Mr. Deeds.
Ah, Mr. Deeds.
Okay.
Lost my foot. All right, freaking Scratch and Sniff. You got any
Uh,
other ones you want to throw out there to try and see if you?
Bull Durham. Dave.
Yeah, that's good.
Wally. Can I get that? And it just came to my head because of what Jeffrey said. I'm saying Weird Science just because.
Weird
I mean,
Science?
they got
I'll
girls in
give
the
you
end.
one or the other. You don't get Weird Science and Wally.
Why
I
not?
would say
Hey,
Wally counts more than Weird
Weird
Science.
Science.
fuck that. You had Iron Man and Weird Science. I'll go Will.
It's not going to sway me though.
That
All
doesn't-
right, fine.
yeah, I'll give.
Man,
I like Wally.
I suck at this. I suck at
Honestly,
this.
no. Honestly, I would not have thought about Wally on the premise, but given that Wally and Eve, yeah, okay. I give you that one, player. That was.
I mean,
was,
everything Wally does after he meets Eve is all
right.
about
That's what I'm
trying to
saying.
make
Like,
it
okay,
closer,
I
so,
give you
yeah.
that. Yeah, that's actually okay.
Look at that. He look at him getting the children's friendly one in there. Look at that.
Damn right. Now let's talk about the unfriendly ones that we were talking about.
Now we good anyway.
We
So
good on that.
All right,
Uh,
my
Right
PTO
then.
just
I think
ran
that
out.
freaking you good? You good, right? You got everything out.
That's it.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we all good. All right, so that's gonna wrap up this top 5 for rom coms and stuff like that. Any other freaking extra content stuff like that, you can message Tony directly and talk to him about those. We're gonna keep that over here.
That's
So,
special selection.
You better be ready
So,
for it.
Yeah, oh boy. So again, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get all of this content freaking right here, freaking whenever you come and sign in. So with that, we're definitely glad to have you. So with that, so make sure that you join the group if you have not. So with that, we're gonna have these conversations in the group and talk about more of this stuff and get some more additions from our members because they love to chime in and give their opinions and stuff as well. So there may be some extra sleepers in there that we have not mentioned. So please make sure you scan those QR codes, join those groups, and come check us out. With that being said, we'd like to thank you. We got Sam, Brother Eloise, Denisha, and Scratch and Sniffy down there. So with that, me, Uncle Scrooge is here, and we'd like to thank you for joining us, and have a great one. We are out.
All on.
Peace.